I can't recommend them enough, wrote Luca Castillo 4 months ago, and they were talking about the brand Marlou. After reading about the brand, I went ahead and ordered their discovery set immediately. The perfumes arrived quickly in these tiny, cute vials. However, they are dab bottles, so I transferred these precious liquids into spray bottles for the ultimate smelling experience. Welcome to Smellomania. This is a perfume review channel where I analyze perfumes by drawing what they smell like to me. The notes of the perfumes can be misleading and don't really help to imagine the smell. And intense emotions used in fragrance descriptions don't say much about the way they smell. So I decided to decipher the smell of various interesting perfumes and turn it into images. So today I'll be analyzing the brand of Marlou. I've lived with those 4 fragrances for more than a month, noting down every thought and preparing for my review. When one day I came back to their website to gather some information and I saw that 2 more perfumes were just released. So I ordered yet another discovery set, which now contained 6 perfumes, and took my time to fully experience them. And that was 2 months ago. So here I am today, ready to review those 2 new fragrances by Marlou, Heliodose and Doliphor. But first, let me introduce you to this intriguing brand and what they're all about. This is a relatively new perfume brand created in 2016 by Briac Frocrain in France. Marlou describes their perfumes as sensual, sexual, animalistic, primal, personal, and intimate. I loved it when they wrote that a living object is never fully clean, and that their goal is embracing body flaws and creating a new olfactory personality. But what does the brand feel like to the consumer? After living with my 6 samples for months, I have concluded that these perfumes should be sold to adults only. They're on the edge of being vulgar. They're all about bodily liquids, urine and saliva. They're dirty, unapologetic, seductive, really sexy. But not in a nice, mysterious way. They're sexy in a way of, wow, I wasn't supposed to see this. The whole brand of Marlou feels like peeking through a keyhole. Peeking into something private, a little bit dirty, into something you're not supposed to know or see. They're like odes to something which is always kept hidden, to something we all face in one way or the other, but nobody really talks about. May it be urine, saliva, milk, or death. They take something nobody wants to talk about and turn it into art. Turn it into a touching expression. A small note which came with my sample reads, "Handle with care, may cause intense emotions." Let's start with Heliodose. First, let's take a look at the official notes and the official statement about Heliodose. Galbanum, green notes, clipped stems, facets of ripe fruits, tiare, sun lotions, oily macerate, a humid summer's eve, indole, a naturally animalic, indolic flower, musk, leather-like base, oily and chalky. Heliodose, the official notes and the official description. They did a really nice job of describing Heliodose with these few words. But would you like to know what it smelled like to me? What it reminded me of? But first, Let me tell you that Marlou perfumes react to your skin and give a very personal experience. Since Heliodose is quite naturally smelling and doesn't have any harsh and overpowering synthetic notes, it just becomes an extension of your skin and bonds with it, creating something truly unique. Just a blotter test will not be enough. You will have to test every single one of these scents on your skin to see if you two vibe together. Imagine the most luscious white flower bush at midnight. The weather is insanely humid and hot. You thought that the night would bring a long-awaited break from the summer heat. But no, it became even hotter. The air is still, and that narcotic smell from that blooming bush outside isn't going anywhere. In fact, its petals just came to life, leaving a sweet, oily residue behind. They turned into an erotic and exotic belly dancer, making you question your sanity. The bush I'm smelling must be emitting some toxins. I'm starting to see things. Heliodose was created by Stephanie Bacouche. It's an animalic, white floral fragrance. It's a bit nostalgic, slightly old-fashioned, but done in a very modern way. That's why it's timeless. It's really interesting that it's sweet and oily, but never gets too heavy. A really beautiful and elegant creation. The second perfume I'll be reviewing today is Doliphor. Let's take a look at the official notes and the mood they were going for in the description. Carrot seed, vestige of flesh, lingering on worn garment. Costus, skin in a bottle, a sultry body zone. Cumin, salivary notes, a bath towel. Musk, musked laundry powder. Doliphor, the official notes and the official description. I had so much fun with Doliphor. Heliodose was quite straightforward in comparison. In Doliphor, I went from repulsion to addiction, back to repulsion, and back to amazement at how different it smells on each person and on a blotter. I'll be honest, my skin isn't suitable for this perfume. It amplified a weird, sour aspect of this fragrance. It's as if someone spat on my arm and just ran away. And I was left with this dominant dry saliva aroma. But on a blotter, it started telling a very rich story. Part 1. A story that begins with a girl, her deodorant, and a towel. In the very beginning, there was an aerosol spritz. A pink-colored, old-school metal can was aimed at the underarm area. Naturally, some of that pink-colored deodorant got onto a towel. Part 2. The towel gets abandoned and forgotten. She hung it on a radiator, but forgot to plug in the device. So you can imagine the smell of something that was once fresh and deodorized and now is just damp. A wet towel that has been wet for a bit too long, and some milk was spilled, and that same damp towel started absorbing it. Doliphor, a milky, damp towel that was sprayed with a pink deodorant. But this is what Doliphor smells like to me. It was created by Emma Lehout and received so much love. People compared it to the smell of a newborn's head, to unwashed lover's hair. Something in between a disinfected hospital and a fresh morning shower. Something in between a young baby and an old cottage. Well, you get the idea. You don't? Neither do I, don't worry. I've worn this perfume a dozen times in many different circumstances, and I still can't decide about my feelings towards it. Thank you so much for staying with me on this really exciting journey. I'll be most definitely reviewing the remaining 4 perfumes. If you enjoy watching my reviews, do subscribe for more. Let's grow this channel and this new idea of visual perfume reviews together. Also, feel free to suggest any perfume you would like me to review next. See you on the next Friday. Bye.